992, 993, 994. 993. Thank you. So it seems like CTO beat Bitcoin to 500k. A race I hope to lose in the future. Come on, Michael, you can do it! Seriously, guys, thank you so much for your support. This took 8 years. I posted my first video in 2017. Big caps or small caps in crypto? Which is actually best? Today we will find out. They were genuine bangers. Information that didn't exist anywhere. Because I built this huge database where I could do stuff that no one else could, or at least did. So in crypto, is it best to buy and hold altcoins, or should you trade them? Let's find out. That's where I got the ideas for Larsson and all that. It was so good. Then that channel got shadow banned by YouTube because I talked about dangerous topics like Bitcoin and crypto. Then I thought, but I have a YouTube account that I created before Google even owned YouTube. One of the first accounts created. I didn't use it for anything except testing, as I worked with getting video streaming to work over mobile data. But I still had the login and password. I felt no way in the universe that they will shadow ban one of the real OG accounts. But they did. Once again, views went straight to 0. Second time down. Then I almost gave up. I felt I was wasting years of my time here, but a friend encouraged me to keep going. So I rolled up my sleeves and set a very ambitious target. Can you do a 1000 times return on your investment? Or is that just luck when it happens? Not just on one trade, that's easy, but on your whole account, doubling your money 10 times. Can that be done with consistency? Yes, I believe it can. Third time's a charm. This time they didn't shadow ban it. In fact, YouTube completely changed their position on Bitcoin. Suddenly Susan Wojcicki, CEO of YouTube, posts this in early January 2021.
Personally, I use YouTube to learn how to cut hair, fix my fridge, do more yoga, research Bitcoin, and help with physics homework.
And I was like, dude. So suddenly you've been supportive of Bitcoin on YouTube all along. So what happened there? What made them change their mind? If you want to understand how a mainstream opinion shift happens, this is a good lesson. January 2021 was when, guess who? Elon Musk once again moved the Overton window. The range of opinions politically acceptable to the mainstream. This was the time when Elon Musk changed his bio on Twitter to Bitcoin. In retrospect, it was inevitable. And the timeline was, a month earlier, Michael Saylor offered Musk his Bitcoin playbook. December 29, CEO Grayscale tweets, "I see you, Elon Musk," perhaps alluding to market purchases. January, CEO of Grayscale, Twitter is going to absolutely lose its shit when Elon Tesla disclosed Bitcoin holdings. January 29, Musk adds Bitcoin in his bio. And before that, a month earlier, there were events happening at PayPal, enabling users to buy, hold and sell crypto. And PayPal was an accepted part of the mainstream internet infrastructure. It was the PayPal mafia and friends. Why is this Peter Thiel-backed startup mining Bitcoin in West Texas? Early 2020. David Sachs, who was PayPal's CEO back in its early days. Cryptocurrency fulfills the original vision we tried to build at PayPal in 2017. Now David Sachs is the crypto czar.
That Bitcoin is scarce, it's valuable, and that is strategic for the United States to hold on to this as a long-term reserve asset.
And Elon Musk, who also has quite a lot of influence right now. Whether you think that's good or bad is another matter, but he undeniably has. Here's Mark Andreessen, friends of the PayPal mafia, in 2014 why Bitcoin matters. Those of you who are very old, like me, will remember Andreessen as co-author of Mosaic, the first web browser, which was then replaced by Netscape, that he also co-founded, that many thought was so good that it could never get replaced. Then it got replaced by Internet Explorer, which could never get replaced, and so on and so forth. Stepping back, I feel it's a beautiful conclusion from this. It only takes a couple of friends to change the world opinion of something, including YouTube. Suddenly, Bitcoin was kosher, and they let this content flourish, influencing voters, and before you know it, the President of the United States is shilling Bitcoin and crypto. When speaking here on YouTube, this is a very encouraging thought, that perhaps an opinion, an idea, an insight, heard by the right person, even if it's just one view, can change the direction of the world. So don't think that your opinion doesn't matter, or that speaking up doesn't matter. Stand for something. Press on. And you don't need to be a company owner or an advisor to the president. That friend of mine who encouraged me to keep going. Just a sentence. Without it, I wouldn't have had this YouTube channel with 500,000 of you watching, where I hope you've learned something useful and maybe you've passed some of it on to someone else. As a result, we have made impact on important politicians and decision makers. I know that for a fact. Before we look at the charts, thank you to Ivan on Tech for boosting my channel on that third restart when I was almost at zero. Here we pretended to steal Ivan's atomic clock.
They come to you like an atomic clock each and every day.
Which was his intro at the time.
Wait, I got Bitcoin.
And Matti Haapoja.
This is not financial advice, but buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin. This is not financial advice, but buy Bitcoin. Buy Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin.
My friend, CTO Larsson, taking financial advice to the next level. I appreciate it. You guys should check out his channel.
And James and everyone else who have helped me along here. But most of all, to you for watching, for your support over these 8 years. Thank you. And if you're still watching without subscribing or pressing the bell button, press the button, Mr. President. If we start with a weekly Bitcoin chart, this remains an incredibly bullish chart. Inverse head and shoulder, retest on the pixel or on the dollar and bounce. Also, if we go to very short time frames, you will recall this inverse head and shoulder that confirmed didn't invalidate, because remember previous video, invalidation point is the low of the right shoulder, didn't get there, and has instead shot up to yesterday's high of 88,800. Why so many 8s? Because 8 is a lucky number in Chinese culture. If we look at the daily, the picture is slightly less clear. We had the range breakdown, we hit the pattern target from the breakout exactly, also on the pixel, and price has bounced up quite a bit. But we have to expect that the previous support is now resistance, and burden of proof is still on the bulls to break back up into the range, and then hopefully turn the daily trend back up. But actually, I think this chart is just a minor clue at this point, because if you remember previous videos, what are the two clues to the market right now? Number one is the stocks, because actually Bitcoin just moves with the stock market at this time. So the big bounce and recovery we've seen here, it's just the stock market that has gone up. The chart between Bitcoin and the S&P 500 here is basically the same. As you recall, we observed that this horizontal level would be a natural place for stocks to bounce, and it did. And it has pulled up Bitcoin with it. The other big clue is Saylor's buys, and he is back now after almost 1 month with a rather significant purchase, though not as big as the ones we had in January and February. So apart from the price action, these are the 2 clues that I'm watching here. There was a lot of emotions when I brought up Tesla and Elon Musk last week, but I hope you now feel that it made sense to analyze it at that point of time, because it did bounce big time from this diagonal, I think precisely for those factors discussed. While some people burn up the Tesla dealerships, many other people in fact get increased sympathies and maybe go buy a Tesla because of it. So even though the video upset a lot of people, I hope you now found some value in it. Solana, here is the SOL to USD chart. It's now clear that this drop below the key support was a well executed fake. Personally, I should have anticipated that fake better. On the SOL to BTC chart, this is a double bottom in the chart that has just confirmed, though not enough to turn the trend back up. My favorite video over these 8 years remains the Buy Bitcoin rap. It's both funny and a good explanation of Bitcoin.
Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin?
And it was right that it was still early, even though it didn't feel so at the time. I was also right that Bitcoin, with its currently small block size, is not really suitable for the payment use case, and that Lightning ain't gonna solve it. Neither of those materialized. I think that use case will be on other networks. And it was also right to not blindly hodl there, but to follow the trend, because the trend did turn down, even though there were Plan B and others being so sure that it would go to 100k in that cycle. Instead, being reactive, just following the trend gave radically better results. But what I also talked about, if another blockchain will ever eclipse Bitcoin in market cap, that we still don't know. It hasn't moved in that direction. At that time, Bitcoin was a factor 3.5 bigger than the next biggest. Today, it's almost 7 times bigger. I still think it's possible that it could happen, because the value of tokenization of real-world assets, stablecoins, payments, other applications, use cases that are still so early. So on that point, I guess we'll find out over the next 8 years. Definitely watch the video if you haven't. Thanks for the first 8 years. Don't get scammed. I have only one website. It's ctolarsson.com. Press here for course and indicator. Press here for Larsson Line Pro. Thank you, tack.